Welcome to Everything Programming Pro. So in today's video, we are going to learn how to fetch data from an API using React. So the API that I'm using is a JSON placeholder API. I'll just copy and paste this API as a comment right over here. So the link of this sandbox will be in the description, so you can check it later. So this is the API that we are going to use, and today I'll tell you how you can fetch data using this particular API on a button click, right? So first of all, to make an API call, we can use the JavaScript's fetch function, or we can use an external library, a very dependent library and a very widely used, that is called Axios, right? So if you are using a code editor in your local system, you can use npm I Axios. So this will be the command that will be used to install the Axios package right into your system and into your project. But I am using code sandbox, so I'll simply write Axios and I'll hit enter, and this will be installed, right? So since this is a React app, what we'll do is we'll create a button over here. So this is going to be a very basic example, and you can style all of this data later. Fetch data. So this is a button that is going to fetch the data for us. So on this button, I am going to put an on-click event, that is, I'll write on-click and I'll call the function fetch data, right? So this function is going to fetch data for us, and since this function is not defined, so we'll simply define fetch data, which is going to be an arrow function, and just like this. So since this is going to be a function where we will call an asynchronized API, that is an async API, so we'll write async, 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 and now here we will write the data fetching logic. So what we'll do is const response is going to be Axios dot get. So first of all, you'll have to import Axios. And how to import Axios? We'll simply write import Axios from Axios. And this way Axios will come into your project and in this particular app.js file, and we'll write axios.get, and here what we'll do is we will put this particular API, right? So I'll just put it here, and let's define a state which will have the data. So I'll write data set data, and this is going to be a use state, and initially use state will be empty. So if we check, the JSON placeholder is giving us an array of objects. What we'll do is we'll print name of each of this thing here, right? So what we'll do is as soon as the response is here, we'll simply do set data, and it is going to be response, and also we will try to console the response. Let's see how the response we are getting, right? So let me check if we can open a console window over here. Let me check. I think console is here. Yes, console is here, where you can see. So I'll simply click on fetch data, and it's a promise which was not resolved, so we'll have to write await here. I'll simply save, and I'll again click on fetch data. As soon as we hit fetch data, you can see a lot of things are here. So that means instead of the whole response, we have to set response dot data inside of this is the data object. As you can see, this is going to be an array of objects, right? To show the data, what we'll do is we'll write data dot map, right? Since data is an array, and AR, and since it's going to be objects inside this, we'll write obj, or we can write this obj. My bad, something is wrong. So I think I have to close the console. So here I'll write obj and the index of obj, and here we'll simply return I'll write ul, that is I'm going to render a list. So I'll copy this and I'll simply put it here, and we'll return li, right? And what we'll write is obj dot name. As soon as we save, you will see as soon as we click on fetch data, we are able to see names of these people. And if you see, this is a network call that we actually made. So for example, I'll clear the console and I'll again click on fetch data. We made a fresh API call, and the response that we got here and the response that we got here is being printed. Now you can modify this data as per your requirement, or you can beautify this, or whatever you want to do, you can do it with this data. So if you have any questions regarding this, please do let me know in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one. And the link of this sandbox will be in the description.